Handle on the issues of promoting this research and development are Jerry Sanders, President and CEO of the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce, Congressman Duncan D. Hunter, representing California's 50th District, and Congressman Scott Peters, the 52nd District. And thanks for joining us today, gentlemen. Jerry, we will start with you. The idea of bringing home the bacon, as I said, a lot of cynics say, well, it's pork, and even more aggressive tax hawks talk about Uncle Sam as being used as a piggy bank. You've been in the public sector, you've been in the nonprofit sector, now the private sector. Want to give all this a spin?
Well, you know, it's not bringing home the bacon, it's actually investing in jobs. Jobs are critically important to the economy, especially when the economy is slowly coming out of the recession that we had.
Economic stimulus.
It is. It's an economic stimulus, but I don't think people in San Diego ask for things that are unreasonable. We want funding for the military because of the job that they do and the fact that the thrust is now on the West Coast. Right. We also look for help in the innovation economy. Many of the discoveries that are made in a lot of the high-tech and the biotech companies benefit everybody in the nation and the world, in fact. So I think it's a great stimulus to help create jobs and help create discoveries that move things forward.
And Congressman Hunter, you are in your third term. You're on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Education and Workforce Committee, as well as House Armed Services, which we will delve into further in the next segment. Your take on all this. This is something that San Diego is a pillar of not just the local economy, but also on a broader scale throughout the U.S. and the world.
Yeah, San Diego's in a fantastic place just by nature of where it's at geographically. You have the Marine Corps here, the Navy, you have Army bases up north in California still, but this is an area where you can innovate, you can manufacture, and you can have it on the military base to be tried out within 20 minutes. So you can test something, and then you can take it to the Navy base, you can take it to Camp Pendleton, and you can literally test it on the spot. You can't do that in very many places the way that you can do it here. And when it comes to transportation and infrastructure, it's interesting. I'm chairman of the Maritime and Coast Guard Subcommittee, so we deal with ports, dredging, Homeland Security, Coast Guard, and all of those things come to play. And the blue economy here is huge too. There's billions of dollars in the blue economy, underwater UAVs, lenses for underwater cameras. There's a huge industry here that's untapped, and we want to bring all of those things to bear through free market competition, and San Diego will shine if we do that.
And Congressman Peters, we have an advantage in that this is just it's a cradle of intellectual firepower. However, we are in competition globally, but also in the U.S. The Raleigh Research Triangle, 128 Technology Belt in Boston, Redmond, Washington, Austin Technology Incubator. How are we doing in this kind of competition?
I think it's great that you talk about it as a competition, because I think sometimes we don't remember that. San Diego's got a great advantage. We have Qualcomm's our largest private employer, so we're big in telecom. We're the second or third leading biotechnology hub, depending on whether you're counting money or scientists. We have a tremendous clean technology industry, including research in algae for fuel and also solar. And military technology here is amazing. There's UAVs, unmanned systems, there's communications and cyber, all very big presences here. What we need to do is we need to make sure that the government's making the appropriate investments to keep those businesses going and keep that investment going, but also to make sure that San Diego attends to keeping that talent right here, and that's been a big focus of mine. Okay,
we're on the clock. I'm getting the 2-minute warning for this segment. Let's go with the game plan for making all this happen. I mean, this is more than just a work in progress.
It's critically important, but every time we've called on our congressional delegation from San Diego, we've got the support that the business community needs, whether it's talking to NASCO and getting the shipbuilding capability and more ships lined up to employ about 4,800 people, or whether it's the medical device tax, or whether it's a lot of other things. Our delegation's been critically important, including infrastructure along the border, which is really important. And our delegation came forward like I've never seen before to help push that funding through.
Every delegation is competing. How is it that you get the upper hand?
Believe it or not, even though we may disagree on quite a few things, when it comes to regional politics and regional economic investment, we agree on almost everything, right? I mean, and you have to work together, because Congress is 435 individuals in the House of Representatives. One person by themselves can't do anything, but when you bring us together, we can sometimes get stuff done which we agree on, which is regional economic input.
What about these other delegations? They're saying, oh, wait just a minute here, not so fast.
Well, you know, it's not, we ought to think really globally about our investments as a country. We really need to invest in science, particularly medical research. And I'm comfortable that San Diego would be able to compete if the United States makes that investment. We need to repeal the medical device tax that's getting in the way of a lot of job creation, faster FDA approval for medical devices, and then we really need, particularly in the healthcare space where wireless has become a big option for monitoring diseases and for diagnosing, we really need to get DC to embrace the kind of innovation that San Diego brings to the table and incorporate that as a way to save money. I said last week that Washington's where innovation goes to get confused. We need to teach Washington what we know about innovation here in San Diego.
Forward thinking. Thanks, gentlemen. We will be back after a break, and then we will turn the page to